Hello, scholars. Thanks for joining me today for day 2 with our Coral Reefs book. In our work today, we will review elements of a nonfiction text, and we are today going to work with main idea and supporting details in addition to learning even more about coral reef. Some words or terms for us to know. Remember, those 4 bold things are the important things that we are trying to remember about nonfiction texts: glossary, text features, captions, and table of contents. Glossary, remember, is a list of words that defines unusual, hard, and or important words that are found in a text. The glossary is usually found in the back of a nonfiction text. We spent time yesterday looking at the glossary for the Coral Reef book. Right? It's like a mini dictionary of unusual, hard, or important words that relate to coral reefs. Yesterday, we also looked at text features, which are inserts on a page of a nonfiction book that highlight important information. Text features can include definitions, charts, pictures, and more. Yesterday's text features we noticed were all photos in those first pages of our Coral Reef book. What we also noticed yesterday, scholars, is that all of those photos had captions on them. Captions are descriptions of photographs and other text features to better explain what is being shown. Lastly, the table of contents. The table of contents is a list of page numbers where specific information may be found. A table of contents is at the beginning of a nonfiction text and tells you where you could look for certain topics, certain chapters, certain pieces of information that are specific to that topic. Here's an example of a text feature. We have this map in the book, along with a caption that reads, "The dark areas of the map show the location of coral reefs." So, this text feature, instead of just a written paragraph trying to explain that to us, this text feature gives us a look at those dark red areas where coral reefs are located. A little hint for text features. It may be a good idea to read or look at text features before reading the text itself. They help you to better understand what is being said. After you read the text features, read the main text. This will help you bridge the knowledge gained from both the text features and the main text to help with better understanding of the story. I'll model that for you today as we read. Let's read a little further today about coral reefs. Grab your coral reef booklet and join me at page 8. Page 8. Scholars, I'm noticing page 8 already has that map we just looked at with the caption. Right? The dark areas of the map show the location of coral reefs. So now, as we read this information on page 8, we already have in our mind those dark red areas where coral reef are located. Where do corals live? Coral reefs need certain living conditions to stay healthy. They need the right depth of water. They need healthy algae for food. Both coral and algae need water that is the right temperature. Coral reefs can be damaged easily. Fresh water that comes from rivers can kill coral. Dirt and debris can clog them. Heavy waves from large storms can break reefs apart. Page 9. Now, scholars, before I read page 9, let's take a look at this text feature. We have, excuse me, drawings of 3 different reefs. Let's read about each of them in the captions. Cross section of a fringing reef, so meaning a side view. Cross section of a barrier reef, and cross section view of an atoll. So, scholars, right there, just from those 3 captions and those 3 drawing text features, we now know there are 3 types of coral reefs before we even do any further reading. I can also tell from the 3 drawings, right, how the water looks different in each of those. So I'm getting a good mental picture right now of what those 3 look like and how each one is a little different. Now, when I read that information, I'm going to have a picture in my mind to go with it. Let's read page 9. There are 3 types of coral reefs. They are called fringing reefs, barrier reefs, and atolls. Fringing reefs sit close to the shore. So let's take a quick look back up there again at that fringing reef drawing. Right? So fringing reef, right, that purpley area, right? Look at how close that is to the shore of that kind of brownish hill. Barrier reefs have a large lagoon or area of water between the reef and the shore. So scholars, let's look at that one as well. So the middle drawing, see those 2 purple areas? Those are the reefs, right? The barrier reef. And then notice how there's some blue water in between the purple and the brown hill of the shore. Right? That blue water area is a lagoon. Right? Notice that isn't in the fringing reef. Page 10. An atoll is the 3rd type of reef. An atoll grows in the shape of a circle. It grows around an old sinking island. After the island is gone, a water lagoon forms in the center of the atoll. So, scholars, I'm going back to page 9 for a moment to look at that bottom drawing. So, that cross section view of an atoll. So, right, we have those brownish areas are that's the atoll, right, that type of reef. And notice how the island, right, has sunk below the water. So now it's just water from one reef to the other reef, right? It can go all the way through. There's not a little hill of shore sticking out. Then on page 10, that photograph, right, that's a text feature. The caption of that text feature says an aerial view of an atoll. So aerial view means like bird's eye view. You're up in the sky looking down at it. So that ring, right, that whole circle is the atoll, the the reef. And that area in the middle now, that's all that water lagoon. Below that, right, is a shore, an island that has sunk below the water. Quite interesting. Let's go a little bit further. Scholars, I'm about to read pages 11, 12, and 13, Danger to Coral Reefs. This section relates to today's assignment in your packet. Danger to Coral Reefs. I'm going to read the captions for our 2 photo text features. First, the bigger photo. White band disease can destroy coral quickly. Can you see the white band running across the bottom of that elkhorn coral? Now, the smaller text feature photo. That caption says a dark ring resulting from black band disease. So, scholars, I'm noticing I just learned just from those two text features there's a black band disease and a white band disease. Let's keep going. I'm going to read page 11. Coral reefs are very fragile. Both disease and human activities damage reefs. Some fast growing bacteria cause disease. The bacteria can destroy a big reef in just weeks. All right, page 12 and 13. I'm going to follow our advice and read the captions for our text features. Page 12. The white areas of these corals have been bleached as the algae that normally give them color have died. Page 13. Boats break off large chunks of coral. Now, let's read the text to find out. Let's fill in some pieces to bridge our knowledge here. Page 12. Other harmful bacteria attack the algae. If the coral can't eat the algae, the coral starts to starve. If the bacteria are stopped, the coral can recover. Without enough algae to eat, the coral will die. If the coral dies, the reef will die. Page 13. Humans cause most coral reef damage. Some people fish with poisons and explosives. Boats and ships break off large chunks of reefs. Boats can leak gas and oil. Gas and oil leaks harm coral, plants, and fish. Scholars, that's where we're going to stop in our text in our booklet for today. But the lesson is going to continue a bit yet. So let's do some practice work right now with main idea and supporting details. This relates to today's assignment. The main idea of a paragraph tells the main topic of the paragraph. So it helps, I think, scholars to think what is the topic, right? The noun, the who, right? This is about, right? The person, place, thing, or idea that the paragraph is about, right? The noun that it's about. And then what's the most important thing it's telling us about that topic? We'll practice one in a moment. What you're really trying to do is find out what the other sentences are about, right? That main topic, the main idea. And then all those other sentences are the details to go with that topic, that noun. Let's give it a try. Let's read this paragraph and try to find the main idea. The Erie Canal changed the way people moved goods in the 1800s. The 363-mile canal connected Albany, New York to Lake Erie in Buffalo for the first time. When the canal opened in 1825, building supplies and goods could be transported quickly and cheaply across New York State. Canal boats pulled by mules carried people and supplies across New York. So, scholars, let's think for a moment. What would you say is the topic? Not the main idea yet, just the topic, right? What noun is this about? Right? What person, place, thing, or idea is this whole paragraph about? What would you say is the topic? Did you say the Erie Canal? That seems right. And I would say the main idea, right? The main thing they want us to know about the Erie Canal is that it changed the way people moved goods in the 1800s. So our topic is the Erie Canal. The main idea is that it changed the way people moved goods. Let's check those other sentences. Right? The next sentence, the 363-mile canal connected Albany, New York to Lake Erie in Buffalo for the first time. Is it telling you about a change? Right? How it changed the way people moved goods. Yes, that's a detail for our main idea. How about this second sentence? When the canal opened in 1825, building supplies and goods could be transported quickly and cheaply across New York State. Does this sentence support our main idea of the Erie Canal changing the way people moved goods? Yes, it sure does. It is another detail of how it changed the way people moved goods. Let's look at that third sentence. Canal boats pulled by mules carried people and supplies across New York. Is this a detail telling us another way that the Erie Canal changed the way people moved goods? Right, it sure does. So, scholars, all three of these other sentences support our main idea. They're details telling us how the Erie Canal, our topic, changed the way people moved goods in the 1800s. Now, you're going to give this a little try yourself today. Your assignment is Coral Reef 2 in your packet. So if you grab your packet, it is the very last page in your packet, and you'll see it's a bubble in the middle that says main idea. But listen carefully to the instructions. Write the main idea for the section titled Danger to Coral Reefs in the center of the web. Record the supporting details in the surrounding circles. So, scholars, we have the main idea in the section titled Danger to Coral Reefs. So I'm going to go back to that section in our booklet. Danger to Coral Reefs starts on page 11. And what I'm looking for is our main idea of what are dangers to coral reef. But I don't want to give any of the details, any of the specifics yet. But I'm looking at page 11, everyone. And I think I found our topics. Yes, I said topics, two of them. Listen to the second sentence on page 11. Both disease and human activities damage reefs. So I would say we have two topics to write for our main idea: disease and human activities damage reefs. Let's write that down right now. In that middle bubble, write disease and human activities damage reefs. Now, scholars, your job is to look at pages 11, 12, and 13 And in each of those bubbles, I want you to jot down a detail. You don't have to write the whole sentence. You could put it into your own words, but write a detail that tells us, right, about a disease or a human activity that damages reefs. You have 6 of those bubbles to fill in. Good luck. And scholars, if you're having a little trouble, take a look at my photo sample to help you get started.